On this video, I will talk about a thing that happened to me when I was about 5 months old. You can take this as supernatural, you can take this as divine, you can take this as however you want to take it. But what I'm about to tell you is 100% true. Um, it's no bullshit. I was um, I was witness of what happened that day. My mother was witness as well, and so I'm gonna start by saying that when I was very young, yes, newborn, I still remember that time when the doctor hold me in his hands to check what sex was I. I still remember his face. I still remember the room I was born in, and that's quite impressive by my brain because how can I remember these things very clearly now that it has passed 25 years from that? And I'm actually impressed and surprised to remember all these things. Well, since now you know that I can remember things that since I was born, I could remember as well that I already knew the language I was speaking. I already knew probably English, kind of, and also Spanish, which is really weird because when I was in first grade, second grade, or kinder, learning English was really easy. I easily absorbed the words, easily knew what they meant in Spanish, easily, of course, learned how to talk, easily also as well learned how to read, and it is quite very impressive, I will say. And so I have a lot of memory about my past, a lot, and sometimes get a little bit, as you know, melancholic. So, well, now that you know this, I'm going to tell you the story. Sorry. So, it was when I was 5 months old. Um, I was really sick. I had fever, uh, cough, diarrhea. I was technically dying at 5 months old. Um, my only just my mother was in that room praying to her Catholic figures that I won't die. So she prayed and prayed, but nothing actually happened. Uh, but later that same night, as she was praying, I was actually remembering that she covered me with what do you say, with the covers of the of the bed. So she covered me because I was about to die. Well, not about to die, but I was really sick. I will say probably if I never heal it, I will probably been dead like in the morning, in just some hours to live. But when she was praying and knew that nothing worked, I could remember clearly that she was crying, and I could only see the covers because she was covering me. Because in her mind there was this reaper just waiting uh, to pick my soul up and just apparently physically die, and my spirit went with the reaper. It's her ideology that I will explain later in probably another video about the Reaper. So they're starting to sound this weird music, but not music. It was chantings. These weird chantings, like angelic, but I doubt they were angelic. They were like the music you're listening right now, the Elven music, kind of chantings like this, but not similar because, as you know, this is from the Lord of the Rings. Uh, it was a chanting of gibberish. I couldn't understand it, but I still remember quite well in my mind. Uh, these chantings were like very elven like, and they were like surrounding the room. And I was like, already at that age, 5 months old, I already knew what was a truck. I knew that sometimes music, I will listen to music because trucks with loud music pass it over our street. And I was wondering what was that sound as well. I was like, what is this sound? It sounds beautiful. And there was this like I said, Elven chantings. Then that same sound came towards the bed where I was laying. It just came like something in me just ripped out. I believe it was the illness I had. It just ripped out of my body and followed the same chanting surrounding the room, then get out from the door, and it just disappeared just like that. And I remember clearly that I was kind of sleepy when I was ill. I was like no energy whatsoever, just about some hours to die probably. I haven't eaten, not drinking as well. And when that thing came, I just like woke up, like literally woke up like this. And I felt much better. I felt really a lot of hunger because I haven't eaten probably all day that when I was ill, or with a lot of thirst because I haven't drank anything. Um, so this thing reminded me of something when I was reading Bark's book, um, in which one he tells about the elves, the spirits of the ancestor, which end up being, of course, sons and daughters of Frey and Freya. That's one reason because I use the image of Freya a lot. For some reason, it's really deep in my subconscious. Uh, and I remember in this book, he said that he also felt blessed because the Hamingja, or of course his ancestors, were with him. He felt blessed by his ancestors, and probably is the strongest evidence that I have about Filgia, the spirits, about also as well the Hamingja, because at this age 25 many other guys that are my age indulge into degeneracy. But I, in the other hand, never felt like indulging these activities like chemical drugs, like alcohol, like sleeping with random women or picking up random women and just sleeping with them. Never. um, never felt attracted to these degenerate activities. Yes, on my own, uh, learning from other stuff, learning about uh, my culture by both sides, Aztec and European. So yeah, uh, I believe that was the strongest evidence that I can recall of Hamingya, of the Ilja, uh, the, the spirit, the white spirit of the ancestors, the elves, uh, the dead ancestors that come to life in me by blood and apparently now by spirit as well in me. So this is the first story that um, tells why I feel so called by Freya. And I believe the next story will be when I had I will say a more scientific term with this, when I had a how do you call it, an vivid dream, a how do you call it, in a lucid dream. I um, I had a dream that I met Freya, but that will be for another video. So yeah, I believe this was the strongest evidence of that we do have spirits, that our ancestors are with us, that we are chosen. Well, some of us, of course, uh, are chosen to by our ancestors to be, for them themselves to be reincarnated in a way, of course, physically by the DNA and by the genes. Well, it will be all for today. Thank you for watching and see you guys later.